CBC is committing fake news. This time it's at the Manitoba border town of Emerson. Now, Emerson is being hard hit with a flood of illegal asylum seekers that are coming mainly from Minneapolis, often in a cab, with some really nice luggage, and then crossing the Canadian border through the snow on foot. Now, Emerson is about an hour south of Winnipeg. It has a population of around 700 people, yet every night, anywhere up to 22 illegal migrants creep across the Canadian border. The migrants are coming to Canada to avoid deportation from the United States, or, well, just because Justin Trudeau told them they could, despite laws that say they can't. And of course, the CBC is on the ground there with their very pro-immigration agenda on overdrive. This one story, though, it's just so ridiculous that the state broadcaster has managed to insult the collective intelligence of the entire country. CBC had a reporter on the ground who conveniently came across one of these illegal asylum seekers who had just claimed to have walked 2 hours in 20 below into Canada. And this is what the asylum seeker told the CBC a 2-year-old child said to his mother during the walk to Canada. The man said, "He say he cannot protect in the snow. He say, 'Mom, I want to die. You can go in the Canada. I want to die in the snow. You can go, Mom, in the Canada.'" I mean, look at the headline CBC ran. "I want to die," 2-year-old refugee said during hours-long walk to Manitoba from US. A 2-year-old, a baby, like an actual baby. CBC wants us to believe that a 2-year-old baby not only has a concept of death, but concepts of nation states as sovereign entities that you would exit from one and then enter into another, and is also so benevolent that he would lay down his little life so that his family, his mother, could flee the terrible oppression of Minneapolis. And then the baby articulated his selfless thoughts in full sentences. How dumb does CBC think Canadians are? Like, can you even believe this garbage? I'm actually surprised CBC didn't report the baby said that Donald Trump is a racist with bad hair. I mean, why not go all in? But let's look at the facts. The general psychological consensus is that children understand only some concept of death superficially between the ages of 4 and 5 and only grasp the finality of death, that grandpa or the family dog isn't coming back, on the upper edges of that range. And some of that consensus comes from studies done on child survivors of the Holocaust, so children who had already been exposed to death. But we don't need to be aware of what psychologists say children understand. Common sense tells us that the CBC is just fake newsing us. I'm a parent of 3 kids. I have 13 nieces and nephews and 1 great niece. 3 of them are 2 years old right now. They are all different, precious, perfect babies growing into fantastic little monsters. But they aren't giving soliloquies on the human condition and mortality in full sentences. But you don't even have to have the experience with kids that I do. If you've ever crossed paths with a 2-year-old, you know the CBC story is just BS. 2-year-olds are starting to talk, sure, and they can tell you some things, but they often don't even know how to tell you that they're tired. They mostly just cry when they are. And that's how they deal with emotions. They certainly aren't telling you they want to die so they aren't a burden on their parents. Now, don't get me wrong. I have such empathy for these little children being dragged out of a safe country to cross the border in the freezing cold by their parents. It's terrible and it shouldn't be happening. But let's not overlook what CBC is doing here. They're trying to use these kids to tug at our heartstrings, to get us to overlook the illegality of their parents' actions. They're trying to convince us that every single illegal border jumper is benevolent, especially the baby Einsteins. CBC is using their taxpayer-funded platform to lie and to publish fake news. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. At The Rebel, we cut through the fake news in the mainstream media to tell you the truth. To never miss a story, click the link below and subscribe today.